Sri Lanka's President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his wife have fled the country on a military jet and flown to the nearby Maldives. It is believed that he left the country before his resignation to avoid losing his immunity and possibly being arrested. It's not known if Rajapaksa will stay on the island nation, but his decision to leave has angered protesters. His departure comes several days after crowds stormed and occupied his residence. They blame him and his administration for Sri Lanka's worst economic crisis in decades, with daily power cuts and shortages of basics like fuel, food, and medicine. DW correspondent Manira Chowdhury is in the Sri Lankan capital, Colombo. Manira, what could this move mean for Rajapaksa and for the country?
Well, Sarah, I can right now tell you what it means for the people. I'm right now standing in front of the President's Secretariat, the official workplace of the President. For the people, at least, it means victory. People are extremely happy. The people I spoke to here say they're happy that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has finally decided to step down from the post of the President. But also they do want him back. They do want him to be held accountable for all the charges of corruption and mismanagement of funds that are on him. For Rajapaksa as well, it definitely means that this family, which ruled the country for decades, it will be almost impossible for them to come to power in this country again. Gotabaya Rajapaksa has fled to the Maldives, as you reported. The next step, of course, would be to elect a new president.
And as you have mentioned, I mean, that would really be a big change for the country, given that the Rajapaksa family has led the country for decades. Where does the country go from here, Manira?
Well, of course, the big task, as I just said, is electing a new president. According to the Sri Lankan constitution, when the president steps down, the prime minister, who is Ranil Wickremesinghe right now, becomes the acting president. Now, the public mood is very much against Wickremesinghe himself. The parliament is slated to meet next week to elect a new president. But till that point, it seems like Ranil Wickremesinghe will be the acting president.
Talk with us a little bit more about the economic situation right now, because, I mean, the dire conditions is really what has spurred all of this in the country. Tell us more.
Oh, well, the economic crisis, of course, continues. And one very important thing to note is that the economic stability will not come till the time political stability does. Poverty and inflation, which are already very high, are slated to go even higher in the coming few months. The road ahead is going to be very difficult. But they do need a stable government. They do need at least a functioning government, whether it has to do with the IMF package, the International Monetary Fund package, or a humanitarian aid coming from any other country. The organization giving the aid will need a functioning government, will need a face of a leader before they can actually give that kind of an aid. Apart from that, the country does need a very strict plan of action. They do need debt restructuring. They do need to bring down the inflation. And very importantly, as people are suggesting, they do need a very transparent model to show where all the aid which is going to come in is going to be utilized, because the public faith in the administration has gone down a lot. So that will be a big task to deal with.
Indeed, to avoid any further corruption or mismanagement, that will be very important for the country. DW correspondent Manira Chowdhury joining us from Colombo. Thank you so much.